So the next one is a girl playing the field. So I would pose the question like this: what about if the gender roles are reversed? Like meaning like you're a guy, right? You met a girl, for the first time. Let's say Tinder, or you met her at a bar. You guys went on one date. Nothing happened yet. At that point, should you cut off all the other girls you're talking to in your life and just focus on her?
When I'm talking to people, I talk to them one at a time. I mean, I'm not spinning a bunch of plates.
So if you go on one date with a girl, you will cut off every single other girl in your life?
If I am going on a date with a girl and I, am taking it seriously, yeah, I won't be talking to anyone else.
Well, I'm not talking about taking it seriously. Taking it seriously typically doesn't happen the first date. That happens much later. I'm just talking about you go on one date. You went on one date with a girl. Would you cut out all the other girls in your phone?
Well, I mean, so generally, I don't like I said, I don't have a bunch of plates spinning. It's not like if I start talking to one girl, I have to text a bunch of other girls. Like I said, I don't have that element of multiple people. It's not something that is a factor in my life.
Okay, let me pose the question like this. Let's say tomorrow you go out to a bar and you meet two awesome girls. Both of them you really like. One of them is named Stacy. One of them is named Amy. You have a date with Amy on Monday. The date goes pretty well. You guys talk. Nothing sexual happens, but you think it's a good date. Would you at that point cut Stacy out of your life, or would you keep talking to Stacy?
So I mean, on the date that I went on with Amy, like I mean, what are we talking about here? Like,
you guys had a pretty good date. You guys vibe. You guys talked. You guys did not have sex. It was a pretty good date though overall. Like you guys just you chatted.
Yeah,
right?
See, that's where it is. That's the problem. Is no, if I'm just talking to a person, no, I wouldn't. I don't feel a need to, text all these other people, all these other girls, and tell them, hey, I'm talking to someone. When it crosses the line of becoming physical, which ideally wouldn't be happening until marriage, anyways. That's the point. When it becomes a serious relationship and you have those intentions, at that point, yes, I would have to divulge that to, all the other girls.
So you said when it gets physical, and you said ideally that wouldn't happen until marriage. So then would you still be talking to these other girls right up until marriage?
No. Like I said, once it becomes serious and you realize that is a potential outcome, okay, that is the point at which you have to divulge that.
So once it gets serious. So we don't actually necessarily disagree on this point. Basically, the reason you would not divulge that until a relationship gets serious is because you want to keep your one foot in the door, right? You're still kind of playing the field. So I think that if your question to me is like, hey, do you think a girl should still be talking to multiple guys while she's in a serious relationship? I'm going to tell you, no, I don't think guys or girls should be doing that. But initially you made it seem like that, like, oh, a girl goes on a date with a guy, she's still talking to other guys. Well, that's no different than what you're doing in this hypothetical that I'm giving you. So both parties are playing the field.
No, I said, when we were talking about this initially, that I don't want to be going out, taking girls to dinner and then having her leave and fucking, the dude that she's got, that she texts every night.
Well, what about not fucking, just chatting with other guys?
I guess it depends on the content of the conversation, but
it's a romantically charged conversation.
Yeah, no, I don't want that. I'm not interested in talking to women who are doing that.
But in the hypothetical I gave you, you said you would be doing that until a relationship got serious.
Not like, when you say romantically charged, I guess, what do you mean by that?
Like flirting.
I guess it just depends on, the severity level of the flirting. I don't really know. I mean, that would be
certain types of flirting you'd be okay with, but certain types of flirting you would not be okay with.
People are just kind of flirty in general, like you might flirt with a waitress and it's not anything serious at all. But yeah, I mean, I think that talking to somebody with the intent of, exploring to see if there's something more serious there. If you're already in that with someone else, yeah, I'm not interested in that.
Well, I agree with you. If you're in a relationship with a girl, or for the girl's perspective, relationship with a guy, it is unacceptable to be flirting with other people. So we're in full agreement there. I guess let me flip the scenario like this. So Kyle, so a girl that you meet a girl, you meet Amy on Friday. Amy met you on Friday and she met Andrew. Andrew is now single in this hypothetical, right? She meets both of you. She goes on a date with you, right? Nothing physical happens, but you guys have a good connection. And then you find out that she's texting with Andrew.
Never go on a date after she had gone on a date with me, Alex. Okay. So you need to reframe the hypothetical.
I don't want to use myself, but anyway, we're going to use a hypothetical version of Andrew that doesn't exist. So she goes on this hypothetical date so she's still texting back and forth with Andrew. They're flirting a little bit, but she went on a date with you. Would you then have a problem with that? Because
ideally, yeah, I don't want that. If I'm talking to somebody, my intention is to find a partner to marry, and that is what I am. That's what I would be hoping. The energy would be reciprocated from the other person.
But you just said earlier that you would still be talking to other girls up until the point the relationship got serious.
Yeah, like I said, though, I am not spinning a bunch of plates. I have girls who are friends, and I'm not going to text them and be like, hey, I have this girl who I'm like serious with now. I can't talk to you anymore.
We're not talking about friends. We're talking about
okay. Yeah, I know. So my point is that I don't have a bunch of plate spinning, and I don't want a girl who's got a bunch of plate spinning.
Right. Just because you don't have plates right now doesn't mean that you would not.
Yes, it does.
But you said earlier that you would not cut it off until the relationship got serious. So did you think I was talking about platonic things? Because I wasn't. I was talking about things where there's an obvious like sexual or romantic intent involved. So you would cut off all those girls after the first date.
After the first date with the girl that I like? What?
You go on a first date with Amy, right? You met Stacy that same night. You and Stacy are flirting over text. So after that first date with Amy, would you completely cut off Stacy?
Yeah, if that date went really well and off of one date, I can tell that this is a person who I would seriously consider having a long-term relationship with, yes.
Okay, but if the date went like moderately well, then the answer would be no?
Well, in that case, it's not a person who I would consider having a long-term serious relationship with. So yes, the answer would be no.
Okay. So what if we flip it, what if a girl, that you said you don't like when a girl does that, but let's say you go on one date with a girl and she's not sure about you. She likes you. She thinks you're cool. She likes that your nickname is Based Fat Chad. She likes that you debate, but she doesn't have that like, I want to lock this guy down forever vibe. She's like, yeah, I want to keep dating him and see how it goes. Would then that be problematic that she's texting with a hypothetical Andrew?
I mean, so we went on the date. She liked me, but is not like blown away. She's not 100% yet. No. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Would I be irritated if she's still texting other guys? I guess it depends on how I feel about her.
Let's say you like her, right? You like her a lot, but you're not 100% sold on her because you've only had one date, so you don't fully know her. I'm assuming, Kyle, you would not commit to a girl after one date. You want to like feel her out a little more. Yeah, exactly. So you're like that. You're like, hey, she seems cool.
Okay, hang on, guys. I've humored this for a while, so I'm going through my notes here. I'm still not exactly sure how this ties into sexual culture and modernity. I'm not sure how this ties into modern sexual culture. If you want to tie this thread together, Alex, I'm not intervening to take you off of your inquiry, but I would like to see you actually tie it into the broader debate topic if you could.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that right now. So the point I'm trying to establish is that the 4 components that Kyle mentioned that he doesn't like about modern dating, he doesn't actually dislike them. He only dislikes certain things about them. And with some of them, he actually doesn't even really mean it. Like, for example, with dating apps, it's not that he inherently dislikes dating app. He just dislikes
which I said.
Yeah, now that's a fair point because we are talking about sexuality and modernity, and that's his line of inquiry.
Yeah, so he earlier said that he doesn't like a girl playing the field, right? But that's why I'm asking the hypotheticals, because it seems like he would still kind of play the field after the first date. And it seems like he doesn't really have a strong position on whether it's okay for a girl to be playing the field after the first date.
I've said clearly that I think once the intention becomes, really seeing this person as someone you could be serious with, that is when, that I am not comfortable with people playing the field.
Sure. And I agree with you on that. But how many days does it take for that to happen typically? It's not going to happen on the first date, right?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, it's going to take a few dates for things to become serious. So I agree with you, right? Like once things become, but that's not really your issue then isn't with a girl playing the field after just like engaging in one date. Your issue is with a girl playing the field once she's in a serious relationship. And that's something very different.
No, once you're in a serious relationship, you're obviously not playing the field anymore. But I, personally, for my preferences, when you're feeling each other out, I would still prefer that you're not talking to a bunch of other dudes, not hooking up with your ex, things like that.
Sure. And so would you reciprocate that same energy?
100%.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
is that a surprise to you that there are like people out there who are like not interested in fucking a bunch of people?
No, not at all.
Okay, so I mean, like, I just don't understand.
I've known Andrew for a year. Obviously, I understand like your guys' point of view. No, it's just again, I'm not surprised by anything you're saying. I just want to see where exactly you draw the line. What do you consider playing the field? It seems like if a girl went on one date with you, right, and she's still talking to another guy, then you don't consider that playing the field. You consider playing the field to be something that once the relationship starts getting physical or serious.
I mean, I guess it's still playing the field, but playing the field is acceptable before that point.
Right, and you're cool with it.
Before that point, I'm cool with women talking to people, but I don't think, like I said, if it's that you're, so if I go on a first date with somebody and I'm expending time and energy and resources and, trying to see if that it works in the beginning phases, I still ideally don't want you to, if that person is leaving and, like I said, texting their ex and hooking up with them that night, if I know that, that's an automatic, not even considering it.
Well, that's a little bit different than playing the field. That's like still being involved with someone, right? That's a little bit different.
Okay. So then let's take that out of there. Let's say that she gets done with the date for me and she, as soon as she gets in her car, she starts swiping and she hooks up with a dude. That also would be an immediate dismissal.
You don't want a girl who's going to fuck some other dude after going on a date with you. I mean, yeah, I think most guys would.
I don't want a girl who's going to be fucking dudes like generally, I'm not. If I was talking to a girl and she's like, oh yeah, I hook up fairly frequently, I would not be interested at all.